All right, and we are live.
It must
Yay! And
be
it's
4:07.
yep.
Well, we didn't want to mess people up by being on time today. So it is our year in review, and we're celebrating our little 2020. Do you have your blower?
Yep. No, my blower's on the way. I left my blower and my hat, but it's en route. So we will still be having that champagne toast at the very end. So
we're gonna do it at the end. I can't pop mine now.
Well, I guess I don't have mine right now. It's en route.
Oh, Valerie. I even have some sunglasses.
I'm in my studio office, and so I left everything at my other location. Oh, those are super cute.
Happy New Year sunglasses, of course.
I love those.
Aren't they fun?
Yes. Good job.
Yes, thank you. We are very festive here, and I will wait to open my Tobin James champagne.
So Lisa doesn't have a green screen, and that's the difference. And as you can see, we have our fun 2020, and that's actually blowing up in flames with toilet paper rolls.
Right? We got toilet paper flinging.
Just to talk about, all the crap that's gone on for 2020. Good and bad. There's been some good. There's been some good in it. So
you know what? There's a lot of good. And Valerie, yesterday and today, I went ahead and I have written down everything that the chamber and that has gone on for the whole year. And you would be amazed at how much stuff we've done. So, and how many new members we have, which we'll go over. And it's been a very, very full year. So,
which is kind of funny considering, it has been a COVID year. And so we were feeling like, I think all the events that we weren't able to do and things like that.
Right.
But the COVID updates and everything else kept us busier than ever.
Yes. And keeping our members, up on what was going on, helping our restaurants be able to have their outdoor dining. That was really huge. It took a lot of our time, and it was all well worth it though, So yeah.
Definitely. But we'll get into more of that. But I think we are going to be starting with what?
I think we're going to start with, we have a new board that we're going to introduce to everybody, right?
We do. And so as far as the new board is concerned, we had our retreat a couple weeks ago, I want to say, and it was great. I mean, I think we all walked away with a lot of great ideas and input. And it's always interesting when you're having to plan a year, whether or not it looks like we're going to have COVID involvement again, or whether we're not. But when you plan for both, then there's kind of no question. And that's exactly what we did. And the board that Lisa's going to introduce here shortly and mention their names and what businesses they're associated with. I couldn't be happier to have and be working with this board. I feel 100% confident in with all of their talent and what they're able to contribute and what they've contributed already. I mean, most of who we've kept on, again, Lisa will name them off here shortly.
Are you gonna you should name them off, Valerie? It's your board. You should introduce everybody. I should introduce you, and then you introduce everybody.
Obviously, we don't always plan these.
No. Yeah, if people think that this is all planned out, no.
Not the case.
We fly by the seat of our pants, but you should introduce your board.
Okay.
I mean, I can do it with you if you'd like.
Well, obviously, Lisa has been our chairwoman for the last 2 years and has done a phenomenal job. And
couldn't do it without you, Thelma.
I'm very, I know, Thelma and Louise here. Yep. And I'm very fortunate to be able to, I guess, take the baton over this coming year for 2021. But not without saying that Lisa did all of the really, really hard work. And yes, you did have a team of people working alongside.
It wasn't just me, Valerie.
But everybody knows that good leadership helps with that. So I wouldn't have stayed as long as I did and gone through everything that we did without your leadership and with everything you were going through. I mean, I think a lot of people know the story. But the second bout of cancer that Lisa had to fight and battle over the past year. So when you have somebody like that by your side and you watch them lead the Pismo Beach Chamber of Commerce, which could have easily failed at the beginning of this last year. I mean, we've had those tough conversations and we could have walked away. And between the two of us, we agreed that we wouldn't. And here we are.
We pinky swore.
And we really did. And despite everything that we went through and now everything that we've gone through this past year, I think we know that we're not going anywhere.
Right.
We've accomplished a lot and we're going to continue to do great things. And we're proving it. And
Well, I
so
think, Valerie, that we both shared a passion for the city and for all the businesses. And I think for us to take over the chamber as volunteers
right,
that own our own businesses and still work and still have a family, that it was truly the passion that we feel for our city and for all of our businesses and the residents and the people that come and enjoy it for their vacations. That's what kept us going, and each other,
right.
because I think we called each other a few times and we were like, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning of when the shutdown hit, I just, my whole existence, even for Noble Productions, has been based around the small businesses, and that's who I've
Right.
advocated for the 10 plus years I've had my own business. That's who I cater to. That's who I work with. So to have that happen this past year, it was a huge blow. I don't think I knew how to take it exactly. You just kind of sit back and what are you supposed to do?
Yeah,
That's all that's mattered to me all these years. But that's kind of the cool part of what it's created, because then you turn to family, then you turn to friends, and then you turn to all the people that are around you that are there going through this with you. And then you realize that maybe some of these other things that you think have mattered in life really don't matter so
they
much,
don't. Right.
so it's just been interesting. So without further ado,
Without
my
further ado, I'm going to introduce Valerie Mercado as our new chairwoman for 2021. Yay!
yay. I know there's so much
Yeah,
applause happening right
I
now.
know. Wait a minute.
And
Oh,
so I was telling Lisa that I'm like pretty bummed that really it's been a couple years. I was supposed to originally become chair, and now that I am, we can't even do like an installation or anything like that. Well, we're gonna hold off. We agree to go ahead and hold off on that, possibly at the beginning of February, because I do want some kind of something.
yes.
Our board will officially be installed at that time, including myself. But for the meanwhile, it is official. And so moving forward, the board, and hopefully I'm not going to miss anybody because I have a habit of doing that on
I'll
emails.
help you.
Okay. So, but our secretary and treasurer, which is, she's new and she's been working with us for the past couple of months, and that's Judy Cotta. And I would hope and think that most of you in the Pismo Beach area know Mike and Judy. They're always cruising around on their bikes. Awesome retired couple. And thanks to Lisa, Lisa, for whatever reason, ended up having a conversation with Judy, found out that she had worked, I believe, in a hospital, oversaw
35 years at a
hundreds of
hospital.
people, worked in compliance and as financial officer, if that's correct, Lisa.
She
Um,
was, she
CFO,
did
right?
HR and then compliance officer. Yep. Did
Yeah.
bookkeeping. Yeah. She was their go to girl at the hospital.
And so anyhow, she was looking to, I guess, fill space in her world. and it was just a great connection. So she started coming into the office and helping us. And again, these are all volunteer positions. This is all volunteer work. And so she's come on board as our secretary treasurer. And that position was held by Jeanette Vieira, who's been, I mean, she's been a complete blessing to us this past year with Be
She sure
Connected
has.
Solutions. And her business is picking up more right now, which, good for her. So it was kind of a good transition. So Jeanette Vieira, is now our vice chair.
Our
So
vice
she's
chair.
taking
Yep.
my position. And I couldn't be happier about that either. It's all falling into place. And then, of course, Lisa is going to be our past president. So she's not going anywhere. Um, and then from there, we have those that have stayed on
We
would
have
be
Sheila.
Sheila
Hmm.
Sanford with Sheila Sweet Treats.
Yep.
We have Denise Watson.
Yep.
She also retired. We also have Arish Afar. Does that make sure I'm saying that right? Arish
Ashar.
Afshar.
Hmm.
And so he's the general manager over at Giuseppe's.
Hmm.
And then we also have Jamie Habig from Crack Crab, and he's the general manager there. And we also have Daryl Buck,
Hmm.
and he is just getting ready. He's getting ready to switch, I think,
He's
over
going to be
to,
newly retired. He
he's going
has
to be
sold
newly
his business.
retired. Right.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
right. This week is the final week.
Yes.
So we have Daryl, and then
James.
we have James Davison over
Hmm.
at Sandcastle Hotel. He's the general manager there also. And then that's everybody that we had before, right?
And Terry Vieira.
And then Terry Vieira with Century 21.
Correct.
And so that's who we had before. And so who's coming in that's new, aside from Judy Cotta that we already mentioned, would be Mike Frey. Hopefully some of you have seen him on some calls, but Mike Frey of Harry's Nightclub and Beach Bar and the Pismo Beach Hotel. We also have Shelly Van Roseboom. Hopefully I got that name right, Shelly.
You did.
Uh,
Excellent job.
with at the Cove there on Price Street. And I think that's everybody.
That is.
That's everybody, right? So
Yeah. What a great board. We have a full
yay.
board. It's great people, great energy. Like Valerie said, we had our retreat and it was so nice to see everybody work together at our retreat. So
It was awesome. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. Everybody seems excited about taking on roles and responsibilities. And I think that's something, well, that's one of my, many goals that I'll have for this upcoming year. So you're also lucky. And the craziest part is I'm entering the year once on Sunday. Well, Saturday will probably be, but usually I do a sober month in January. So the day after New Year's, no alcohol for me for a while, so I'm gonna go big this week. But I'm so happy to be in this position, and I honestly, it couldn't be better timing. It's just really strange how things kind of ended up, but my concern was always that I'm going to be so busy with Noble Productions and everything else, and now that's kind of slowed up because of what's happening with COVID. And but
Keep missing my
it's
head.
all good. So I'm staying super busy with the Pismo Beach Chamber of Commerce. That's for darn sure. And I wanted to, outside of introducing the board, let everybody know that we have spots for ambassadors. So
Yes.
we are really in need of ambassadors and building a new ambassador team this year. If there's ambassadors out there that want to stay in, then get in touch with Lisa and or I. But for the most part, we need to rebuild the team. And more importantly, we need a chief ambassador. And
Right.
so if you know anybody out there that's interested in working with the Pismo Beach Chamber or the city in any capacity, those are the kind of relationships that we build and that we're in direct contact with on a regular basis, in addition to the business community. I mean, we have our hand in pretty much everything that's happening around us in the community. So if you're looking to grow in any of those areas, then this might be a great way to start that.
Right.
And just
We
get in
look
touch
at
with one of us.
our ambassadors to
I
help
have
us with
bottles of
ribbon
champagne in the back
cuttings,
seat.
with setting events up, um, maybe collecting raffle items for us. So the ambassadors, they're just our goodwill people, and we can always use as many as we can. So I see Judy Cotta has already put in Mike Cotta's name,
Yay!
ambassador. Yay.
We already know that.
have him pegged. Oh,
Look at, I got my blower.
Huh?
It's not blowing though. I was trying to do that for you, Mike.
Pop our champagne now.
Yeah, I think we're pretty darn close. But yeah, if you know somebody that, and Mike and Judy are perfect examples. So is Denise Watson. I mean, people that just kind of are going out in the community to begin with. They're seen, they're well respected, they're liked. Um, they enjoy talking to people. They enjoy sharing good information.
Right.
They're proud to be associated with the Chamber of Commerce. Those are the kind of people that we really need. And so many, I'll take a bottle here. And in so many, I guess industries out there, whether you're involved in, I mean, clearly we have a good amount of hospitality people already, but in real estate, anybody that's out there in in front of the public that wants to be out there in a bigger way with the community and the business community, it's great. I mean, I've met so many people through the Pismo Chamber of Commerce, and I was already working with a lot of the businesses, but now I know most of the businesses. They have my cell phone number. They're texting me on a regular basis. It's just an amazing thing. And coming in as an ambassador, gives you the opportunity to kind of see what you like to do, what you don't want to do. And then maybe it's something that in a year that you're interested in taking a position on the board of directors.
Right.
So it's a great way to transition into that position. And then in the future, if you want to run for city council or anything like that, then you already have an idea of how everything works and the people that you're working with within the city. So, and in government. So, I've learned a lot through it. And
Yes.
I encourage everybody and anybody out there, even if you're not here in Pismo Beach and you're working in a different community, if you're in the Valley or San Luis or wherever,
Mm-hmm.
to get to know your chamber, get
Right.
to know the different organizations there in your community.
That's how I started with the Chamber of Commerce. I was an ambassador first. And I've been with the chamber now for 4 years.
4 years. Yeah, I've
Or
been
five.
three.
5 years.
I've
Five.
been three. 5?
Yeah, because I did ambassador first, then I became a director, and then I became chairwoman.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We are looking for good people. Dang it. Okay.
you good people.
A few, more than a few.
Oh, Valerie, see, I can't put my hat on. My hat
Yeah, but mine's kind of jacked up, I think, anyway.
is just.
Are we ready to open the champagne? Because
You
I
wanna open
have an assistant here
Wait.
if I can't open it. Hold on. Lisa's hat keeps
Hola.
disappearing. There's my brother, Jody.
Hi. Hey, are you also having Tobin James?
Yeah,
Oh,
look at
I
that.
thought we were gonna do,
Look at that.
and I thought we were gonna do Opalo for some
I
reason.
know. I could
You wanna
find
do this?
Opalo.
That's fine.
So are we ready? We're going to pop it open?
We're gonna pop it open.
Okay, hold
We're
on.
gonna-
I don't
we're
have.
gonna
I
do
don't.
it.
You need a
I
glass?
don't have a Jody at my house.
Can you get me a champagne glass?
Get a couple.
Champagne glass en route. Champagne glass en route.
I don't have a
So-
Jody as a helper as my.
I know Valerie has all kinds of helpers.
She got lucky.
You know why? Because I have a big family. You have your
Right.
sons there. So
I do.
one thing I want to know is because it is a COVID, this is the COVID 2020 New Year's, 2021 New Year's Eve. What is everybody going to do? I know.
Wait,
Did you hear that?
wait.
That was
He
it.
did it without you, Lisa.
Oh, my bad.
Hold
Oh,
on.
you did yours. You
I
were
did mine.
quiet.
I
Good
did
job.
do it quiet. And I have my little
Exactly.
Happy New Year napkin that I used. Oh, you can't see my stuff. My screensaver is horrible. Okay.
Okay,
we're
so
pouring.
who else is joining us for a glass of champagne? I know Denise,
know.
you can't right now, and thanks
Better.
for being on, Denise.
Denise is on, yes.
Denise is on.
Cheers,
We are doing a
Denise.
meal train for Denise.
And we hope that
Denise-
she's recovering well. Denise
She's
just had to have
recovering
some
well,
surgery
yes.
and
You know,
she
you
is
guys are
home
all,
recovering.
you guys are all badasses.
There you go.
You got
Okay,
yours?
Is that
so
full enough?
yay! And like we said, we're plugging. Damn it, I'm covering it up. Tobin James today.
Tobin James.
Yay.
Cheers.
All right, cheers to our new board.
Cheers to the new board.
2021. Cheers, Lisa.
Cheers, Val.
Clink, clink.
Clink, clink.
You guys
Oh.
have some, Jody, if you want some.
Okay, that's amazing.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
You know, normally I also have a bottle of the Opalo, but I haven't had Tobin champagne on thing by itself in a while.
That's yummy. All right,
Yay.
Val. So do we want to
Okay.
start our year in review?
Why not? I think we
This is
touched
amazing.
on. Okay.
Ready? So January. January of 2020, before we knew anything was going to happen.
Yeah, no
you know,
kidding.
we celebrated the new year. And with the Chamber of Commerce, we found out from our fabulous Effie that our Chamber of Commerce was celebrating its 98 years of service.
Yes, 98 years.
That's crazy.
And that's just like, think about that for a minute. You know, and I don't know, I think we asked, are there other chambers of commerce out there in this area that have been around for that long? Like, you know, if there
I think
was,
the only
there
one
wasn't.
is San Luis.
There was just, yeah, so I was going to say only one other.
Right, right. Because if I'm not mistaken, in the thing I read at the installation dinner last year, it was San Luis Obispo came over to our
Oh, and they helped us, right?
Yes.
Didn't they help us?
To our signing or our,
Yeah. That's so cool. But like, that's just crazy. Like,
I know.
Well, this year is going to be 99 years.
99 years.
99. So I'll be, chairwoman for our 99th year. That's nuts. And then the 100th year, 100 year, we're going to have to do a big old celebration, you know.
100 years, we're going to be like, what? There won't be any COVID or any pandemics, hopefully, and everything will.
Knock on wood.
Back to status quo. So we also had our installation dinner, and we did that at the Pier.
Yes.
And let's see, we opened Cape Cod Restaurant opened in January. Right. So we did our ribbon cutting and celebrated their grand opening in January.
Wow.
And our whole board was there.
I know. We did have a little bit of a ribbon cutting not long ago that went pretty well though too.
Yep. Yes, we did. Oh, look at this. The San Luis Chamber was founded in 1904.
Oh,
so
wow.
San Luis is just a little older than us.
Okay.
And what else happened in January? The Pismo Pier Plaza got underway. So they broke ground for our new Pier Plaza in January.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Who knew? And not here in Pismo, but Hertz Castle did celebrate its 100 years. So that's amazing to hear too. That
interesting.
Hertz Castle up in San Simeon is 100 years old.
Wow.
Our
chamber is not far behind though.
I know. Well, and everybody used to come to Pismo on their way to San Simeon.
So cool.
So, yep. And what else did we do in January? That was it. That's all I have for January. In February, we had our chamber
wine walk.
Oh. We had our Valentine's wine walk, and it was a sold out event.
Of course, I remember our wine walks. Don't you guys miss the wine walks? I miss the wine walks, man.
Sold out. We had 21 stops.
Now, is that the one where we finally did a VIP option, or was that?
Yes, we did a VIP option, and everybody got to go up to in at the pier.
Rooftop. Yep. That was a great idea, by the way. I wonder who thought of that.
Yeah. I wonder who. Valerie. Yes, we had our VIP, and we had music. Darren.
Yep. Darren
played music for us. Yeah. Denise's brother. It was excellent.
People's Choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome. And that was February.
Yep. That was our biggest wine walk to date, was the Valentine's.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Who knew it would be?
Oh, I had cataract surgery that month.
Oh. Yes. Val had surgery so she could see.
Exactly. I really couldn't see. Like, you guys have no idea. I was like going blind.
Right.
And then who would have thought? And then, so did we do anything the beginning of March before COVID?
Well, I'll tell you what we did do. Let's go back to February. One other thing is we started our mayor's luncheons in February. So February, we had started the mayor's luncheon, and we had a panel of the 5 cities
Yep.
mayors.
Yes, we did.
And that was at the pier, and that was our first mayor's luncheon.
Wow.
Yeah. So
There was
we did a
supposed to-
lot of first in 2020.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and then it all went. And then in March, so March, was it March? It was right before St. Patrick's Day that the stay-at-home order came into play, because I'll never
So we
forget
actually
that.
got to do one more fun thing. We got to do our mixer at Finn's in
Oh,
March.
that's right.
And that, of course,
That
was our
was
last
it.
mixer.
That was our last mixer.
Yep. And what else happened? Grocery Outlet opened. So we did their
Oh,
ribbon
right.
cutting with them. Yep.
Right. Remember that?
And this is kind of sad, but I wrote it down because in March, we started promoting our Taste of Pismo for April.
Yes, we did.
And we had actually sold a lot of tickets.
A lot.
So
A
that
lot.
was got sad coming up. So yeah. But Shell Beach Inn had their reopening after their remodel, and the new people
Oh,
had bought it.
yes.
So we did have fun at that.
That was nice. That's true.
Yep.
Yep. And that was
And
also in
Dell's,
March.
that was in March. Yep. And Dell's Pizzeria celebrated her 47 years in business.
Nice.
So awesome.
Wow, 47 years. Good for
Yeah,
her.
for Bernadette. And then on March 4th, we had our Mardi Gras ribbon cutting at Masterpiece Hair Salon.
Oh, that's right. That was cute. I remember that.
That was fun. Yeah, and
Yep.
she had all those cute little games.
Yep.
And
We had a good time.
And then, unfortunately, on March the 5th, Jim Lewis did his public announcement and gave the residents information on COVID. And at that time, on March the 5th, California, there were none here in the 5 cities area or our SLO County, but in California, there were 53 cases.
Wow. On the 5th. And then
On the 5th. And that was all of California. So really kind of crazy when you look at where California as a whole is today. And then on March the 16th, Jim Lewis, our city manager, addressed Pismo Beach with COVID, and we had the emergency lockdown was taken.
And then everything changed.
Then everything changed.
Yep.
And restaurants started closing their inside, offering delivery and pickup only. And I tell you, our board, Denise, everybody just started posting as much as we could to help our restaurants out about the family meals that they were doing for pickup or
delivery. And then I didn't know what to do. So between Noble and the Pismo Chamber, you know, my heart, of course, went out to the business community. And so I mean, I do marketing. That's what I do. So I didn't know how else to help other than to, we put together that I put together a group page.
Yes.
You know,
that was the Pismo Chamber started the support local restaurants page, Valerie, and that was you.
COVID opened during, or businesses opened during COVID. And then that group quickly grew. And so we were able to not only post and market the businesses on the Pismo Chamber, but also through this group page, in addition to My Noble channels. And so, you know, again, it's just kind of like, what do you do to help when you're in the position that we're in? But we put good use to our social media, because between my following, between the chamber's following, it's pretty substantial and powerful. And so I think that helped. And businesses like Sports Forum, you know, I ended up doing an interview with her. I mean, they put a post out and they were like failing and didn't know what they were going to do.
Yep.
And I mean, she got just tons of community support from that post. And I'm sure there's a lot of other stories out there like that. And that's where we really started seeing our community supporting our local businesses. And I know, especially for the Pismo Beach area, it's always been, well, you know, our locals won't come here because of the tourists, or our residents won't visit downtown because of the tourists. And I do feel like that's one of the good things throughout this that has happened, is we have seen an outpour of support from our community to continue to come to these small businesses, and make purchases and order food and just make sure that they survive through this. So that
Right.
that's just one of those many things that we've been able to flesh out through this COVID, you know, world. Um, so, but go ahead, Lisa. I just had to add that part.
No, that's all. It's all excellent, Valerie, and it's all true. I mean, um, it's so interesting because I went back. That's how I found out everything we did. Is I went all the way back to January on our Facebook, which it took a long time to get back to January on my phone, because we've done so much posting for the businesses. It was heartwarming to see. It
Yeah.
really was.
Yeah.
So even businesses like Sky's the Limit, they were mailing puzzles out and
Yeah.
games to people. And yeah, businesses were saying, we can do delivery of clothing or jewelry or everything. So, yep. And by April, we were in full swing of stay-at-home orders. Our mayor did go on and let people know that they were allowed to go to the beaches for their exercise, because there were a lot of concerned citizens that were seeing people walking the beaches, and they thought that they couldn't walk the beaches. So the mayor did make an announcement saying it is okay to be outside and exercising as long as you're doing it safely. So let's see what else. Oh, that was a huge one. No group gatherings were no longer allowed. I mean, they made that a hard thing also, where they went back onto
Yep.
the
Yep.
TV and the Facebook and all that, and said, there'll be no gatherings. So let's see. They extended our shelter at home. And that's when the Chamber of Commerce decided to collaborate with the Link resources, and we
Mhm.
gave meals to families in need.
Right.
And we were only going to do it for just one weekend,
And then
and
it
we
turned
ended up doing
into,
it for 8 weeks. That
yeah,
we
I was
did
gonna say
for
like a couple months.
three
Yeah.
families each Sunday. We gave
Yep.
them Sunday supper.
And so that was pretty cool. And again, it was kind of like, let's think of something that, because obviously a lot of families, a lot of people out there were hurting. And how can we help? We didn't have a lot of funds through the Chamber of Commerce either. So this allowed us to get sponsors, businesses that could sponsor. It was $100 per meal. And then we would actually spend that money at the restaurant of choice. And
Right.
then we were supporting that restaurant. And, so it just kind of like was able to help the whole community come together for a good cause, and feed a local family. And
Yeah.
and that was also awesome to be working with Link Resource Center. And had COVID not happened, that probably wouldn't have not happened,
Right.
and so there's just another, you just got to look at the good in all of this. And
Absolutely.
that was
Yeah.
definitely a great thing, that we did. So thank you to everybody that helped us with that.
Yes.
Because the smiles on those families' faces and the kids and everybody was just, it was amazing. It
Yeah.
was
Quite
amazing.
touching. So on a personal note, in April, the end of April, I was able to finish my chemo.
Yay!
I know, woohoo! So during COVID, I had my last treatment of
Cheers.
chemo. Thank you. I will cheers to that.
Cheers to that,
After,
people.
after a whole
Hold your
year,
glasses up, everybody. That was huge
it
for Lisa
was.
to get through that.
Rang the bell home here with my husband and my 2 sons, and it was an emotional time, but glad to be where I'm at now. So yeah. So that's April. Look at all we
Wow.
did from January just to April. So May, the city put up the picnic tables
Oh,
out in front of some of the businesses. And
I don't, that was good and bad. I think the intention was good there. Um,
it was
and unfortunately it just didn't work out the way we had hoped, and the tables
right.
were getting thrashed. And then when other, people in the community are complaining about the tables being dirty and nobody's cleaning them up, and like that just became a whole thing. And
And it was the
so,
chamber's responsibility to make sure they got cleaned up.
which the chamber didn't really know, but
Right.
so anyway, I think those were removed after like 2 weekends of being out.
Yeah,
um
something like that.
but it just wasn't coordinated and facilitated the right way.
For
Obviously,
the
because
city.
now we
Yeah.
have our outdoor dining and it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
But that's just an example of how I think a lot of us, whether it's chambers or cities, have to act so fast and try to figure something out and a solution, and then you put something out there and then it doesn't work out the way but the backlash, that was, I think, one of the worst parts of 2020. The community backlash, or the backlash from people calling you out on things, or like just being mean, and those were the things that aren't in Lisa's 2020 review. But I'll tell you that I was the one receiving calls from Lisa probably on a daily basis, and she was just practically in tears because she was like, how can people be so mean? How can people be so cruel and say these awful, ugly things? And people bashing each other on social media and bashing the chamber because they think that we're the city and we're putting out all these rules and information, and we're not. And it was like chaos and confusion, and just, it was sad. It was like people were
Yeah.
just becoming ugly. And so, but again, when you're able to have a team of people that come together to say, look, take a step back, Lisa, this isn't really what's happening. People don't know how to react right now, and this is all they know. And social
Right.
media, I'm a huge fan of social media. I'm a social media marketer, but I'll tell you, it makes it really easy for people to be ugly and mean. And but we had to facilitate that as best we could, and weed through things, and we probably blocked more people than we ever have before. We just won't tolerate profanity. We won't tolerate people bashing each other. And that's not what we're
Right.
about. We wanted to spread information and just disperse information to, whether it's our members or on our pages, but people thought we were the ones we were the ones implementing rules and guidelines, and it's never been that. All we do is put information out.
Right.
So
You're
that was a
right.
learning, I think, process for us. And it was challenging to get through some of that at times,
It
because
was.
it wears on you.
Yeah. All the negative was really hard, but yeah. Anyways, the another good thing that happened in May was we started our Sunday beach cleanups.
When
So
did we
we've been
start those?
in May.
Holy cow, Lisa, and she's been leading these things. I mean, we thought originally it was just going to be like, I don't know, a couple months, maybe through the summer. No, with Lisa, it's all in or nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, and Mike Cotta, um, Lee, Philippe, um,
all your regulars.
all my regulars, yeah. And Josh with his family, with his 5-year-old son. I mean, it's just so cute. The people, the regulars that come out. We've had up to, I think, 12 people at a time be there, maybe a few more, but we offer masks,
Yes, of
we offer
course.
gloves, we
Right.
offer pickers, trash bags, and you can come and walk the city, the streets, or walk on the beach and help clean up trash. And I just think it's a great way to start our Sunday, and it's a nice way to meet people, help the city out, and be proud of our city and help clean up the trash. So
And good job
yeah,
with that, because I'll
thank
tell
you.
you, the city has definitely taken recognition in that. And especially that, Lisa's led the way and maintained that. And we've met, like Lisa's saying, all these great people in the community that, again, we may not have known about. I don't know
Right.
that we would have started a beach cleanup had COVID not presented itself. So
Yep.
just
Yeah.
something else,
So something
another.
else came good. So in May, our mask ordinances went into effect. And Valerie, we had our very first learning curve summit.
Did we in May?
was in May.
Crazy.
We've been doing these every Thursday since May.
Yeah, which we're gonna revisit that. I mean, they're a blast. So
Yep.
they're,
Do you remember, Val, what our very first learning curve was?
I want to say it was the mayor, but I think that was like
No, you are right. It
Jeanette.
was Mayor
It was the
and
mayor.
Jeanette Trumpeter.
Jeanette Trumpeter that's right. She hosted
Yes,
that.
yes, yes. And then our one after that was with Lynn Compton.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, the mayor, we're going to be doing one with the mayor in February, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Oh, cool.
assuming that we still can't have an actual, meeting, but it's not sounding like it's not sounding like we can.
Well, we'll find out. So in June, we had our very large, for us, for Pismo, we had our large wildfire. That
Oh,
was,
that's right.
yeah, behind the
And
city.
so they never found out, there was never anybody that like figured out what happened,
No,
right?
I think that they said that it was started by somebody.
Yeah, that's all I heard though.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know that
Interesting.
they know how.
Interesting.
Yep.
Mm.
And after that, thank you, Beach and Biscuits. We did our thank you to all the first responders at Beach and Biscuits, and they all got to come and have free breakfast.
That was
So
awesome.
thank you, Mike
Thank
and
you,
Judy
Gina.
Cotta
Yep.
and Gina. It was amazing. They were so thankful.
And the cool thing is, didn't they approach us? It wasn't like we went out and asked them to do something like that, right?
Yeah, Mike approached
Yeah.
us. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Very thoughtful, those Cottas are. And as a chamber, we delivered cookies to our first responders.
Oh,
So we
that's
went to
right.
the
Yeah.
firehouses, the police station, and Public Works, and gave them all baskets of cookies. So that was fun too. Are y'all ready for July?
Well, we know we didn't have fireworks.
No, we had no fireworks in July, unfortunately. But what we did have is we were able, Valerie, to get the outdoor dining. Well, the outdoor dining on Price Street. So outdoor dining was for like Giuseppe's, Rosa's, anybody that had their parking lot, they could do their outdoor dining. And then if we move ahead, that's all that was happened in July. If we move ahead to August, that's when we were able to get the outdoor dining for our restaurants in the downtown area and in Shell Beach.
So that was in August?
That was in August. Yes.
And that was that was a thing. That was a big thing for us.
That was huge. That was a lot of work.
It was a lot of pushing. It was a lot of pushing, really.
It was a lot of pushing. Yeah.
I mean,
and Sean from Cool Cats and Joanne from Splash were very instrumental in helping us out. And Sean, of course, was our beta tester. He was the first one to build his parklet, and it's beautiful out there. So once we're able to do outdoor dining again, I really suggest that everybody goes to some of those outdoor parklets or outdoor on the driveways, Giuseppe's, Rosa's, La Bodega, all those places. It's just so nice to sit outside.
And I think that's one of those times. I think the business community was already seeing that our level of communicating information to them and trying to get it out in a timely manner, especially as it was coming down to us from the city or the governor or whatnot, was already building. And then when we were able to work with the business community on outdoor dining and those restaurants and facilitate that and help them make that happen, I honestly feel like that was huge for us. And that's where on both sides, for the business community to know that when we say that we're there to advocate for you, that we are there to do that.
Right.
And that we will not be persistent, but we will push through as best we can until we're heard. And I feel like collectively we were able to bring that to the table with the Chamber of Commerce and our business community to be heard. And and I've told Lisa, and the board, I'm like, we may be a small chamber. We are a very small chamber, but we are very mighty. And it's because we have heart and we're operating, again, we're 100% volunteer. And so when our business community comes to us and they have a need and our existence is because of them, if it makes sense, then we will advocate for you. And in this case, it did. And we brought it to the city and we pushed it through city council, and it happened. It may not have happened as quickly as a lot of you had hoped,
Right.
but it happened. And I think that the city and others have that respect now for the Pismo Beach Chamber of Commerce because of that. And there's a few other things that happened after that that I think we did really well too. So
Yeah. Well, I think by getting it in front of our city council was really helpful for them to hear how the businesses were really struggling. Um, and there was a documentary that was done, um, and they said that I think it was 84% of all restaurants will close down due to this pandemic. And when you start hearing that and you talk to our city council and our city people and you let them know, do we really want boarded up businesses? We need to do something to help our businesses. It's not gonna, it's not gonna help the city if businesses are shutting down because they can't make it.
not at all.
So the city really had to look back and say, yes, we need to do everything we can to help our businesses stay afloat.
Well, and I think another big part of that was the stories, when they hear, our
Sure.
businesses talk about how it's impacting their employees and how um, they're suffering.
Yep.
And, I mean, those stories aren't made up stories. Those
Right.
are happening. They're the ones having to face their employees every day and tell them, look, this is the situation. And why can't we have outdoor dining versus everybody surrounding us? Why can San
Yeah.
Luis Obispo, why can Solvang? Well, why can all these other places have these parklets and we cannot? And so powering through that and trying to figure out the ways that we could. I mean, we spent a lot of time and energy on that with the business community.
Yes, we
Um,
did.
but but it all worked out. So
Yep.
I'm gonna cheers to that too, because that was a
Me too.
big,
Hold
I
on.
feel like that
Can
was
I
that
pour
was
a
huge.
little bit more?
Me too. So I feel like that was huge for us.
That was huge. And talking about those stories, Sarah at Chipwrecked is the one that
Oh, right.
often comes to my forefront in my mind because, she was saying how she was, it was on a week by week basis whether she was going to be able to stay open or not. And when you hear a local business, small business owner going through something like that, it's heartbreaking. So, yes, we definitely wanted to do everything we could to help our businesses out. So, cheers to that.
Cheers to that, everybody. That was
I really do have
big.
a
That
glass.
was yeah.
Oh, there it
That
is.
was a win for our restaurants downtown. So,
Yes. Cheers to all of them.
all right.
Okay, so now we're on to September. And what was big in September was our Pier Plaza opened. That was another thing we kept saying to the city. If you would just open the Pier Plaza with all of those tables and chairs, it will help alleviate people sitting on the curbs and leaving their trash everywhere. But in September, Pier Plaza did open, and the parklets, or excuse me, the Airstreams were put onto the pier
Better.
for the opening of Sunsets on the Pier, our information kiosk, and Sheldon's Bait Shack. Although those
Right.
places, those three businesses did not open in September.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I'm all,
Nope.
just making sure you're all paying attention.
Right, right. And in September, of course, it was time for us to do our mayor and city council meet and greet. So all the people that were running for mayor, which was just the two, it was our mayor Ed Woggy and Dan
Shadwell,
Shadwell. Thank you very much. Sorry.
you're welcome.
And then we introduced all of the people that were running for city council too.
Yes.
We did that in September and did our little learning curves with them. Okay, and that's all for September. September was short. October, we did our pancake breakfast at the Moose.
Oh, that's right. That was so much fun.
That was so fun. We should do another one of those.
Yes.
I thought that was fun. So we had some local restaurants. They donated our eggs and our pancake batter and the bacon. Who knew you could get pre-made bacon and it only took 5 minutes to heat up?
So we
And it
had
was
so
delicious.
Grocery Outlet sponsored, Splash sponsored, Beach and Biscuit sponsored, and
Penny's Cafe,
Penny's Cafe
Zorro's.
and Zorro's. So we, and that's again just speaks volumes about the relationships that we have as a Pismo Chamber. So we didn't have to put out any money really in order to provide the food, and then the money we made off the food there went back to the Moose.
Right.
So and then I believe the tip money that we made
Right.
off of serving, which was my first time ever serving.
Mine too.
That contributed back to the Chamber of Commerce. So,
Yeah.
You just kind of get creative and try to have fun where you can.
And it is being asked here, who got the most tips?
Oh, whatever. Who's asking the question?
Whatever, Jeanette.
Jeanette's asking.
That's Jeanette asking. And she did. She made the most tips, and she got that from the table where Mike and Judy Cotta sat, David, Carmela, Debbie Benencourt.
Yep.
Yes. So that was our big table.
So anyway, they both blew me out of the water with tips.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yes, and Sheila is reminding me that the city passed an ordinance on vendors.
I was going to ask what month that was, because that was also a big deal.
You know what? I apologize for that, because that wasn't something, I didn't see that in all of our postings.
That's because they were probably deleted.
Probably got deleted. Yeah. Not that I meant to miss anything. I sat there reading everything, and it took me a long time.
So another interesting thing, and what month did that take place? That was
saying August.
August, okay.
Yes.
So there was if you follow us on social media, we had a lot of street vendors coming out onto the beach, and we were getting reports of people selling their wares out there, which is not allowed. It's unless you have a permit.
Worse than the wares was the food, because you have no idea where that is being cut. Was it in a clean place? And
it turned into a pretty big thing. It was on the local news. It got a lot of press, got a lot of attention. I will say that I want to say we posted a lot of that on Saturday, and then it was on the news, if not that evening, by the next day. And then by Monday, the city of Pismo Beach called an emergency meeting with us to inform us that they were going to be putting in place an emergency, what was it?
An emergency ordinance.
Right. And so that again, speaks volumes to, if you act quick and you have a strong message and you know what needs to be done and you have your business community behind you, then things can happen. And they did. And that was a big thing. That was big.
Yeah. So no vending at all on the beach. And
they have a permit process in place. But you have to go through those steps with the city. So not anybody can just come out and vend. And, our business community was having a tough time as it is with COVID. So having other people come into the community to sell was an issue. And if I think the backlash we were getting was, these people their families are also suffering and they're having a tough time, and we get it. But all of our business community is paying, licenses, taxes, they have everything in place, or business licenses, and they're allowed to do that within their retail stores. They're not even allowed to go out there and sell their wares out there unless they're permitted by the city. So we're just saying that it needs to be fair across the board, not that we're picking on anybody in particular. So
yes.
Yeah, we did. That was interesting because we got backlash, on one side, and then the other, our business community was just like, yay, Chamber of Commerce. And so, yeah, I think that deserves a cheers too.
That deserves a cheers too.
Lucky we're not taking shots, huh? The after hours show that we've always talked about.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, that was a big one.
Okay.
And again, on the beach, there is no vending at all on the beach allowed. So there's a bunch of places like it can't be close to a fire hydrant, can't be on the beach, it can't be. Cheers, Denise.
Cheers, Denise and Sheila. Denise and Sheila were really, I mean,
Instrumental.
they were
Yeah.
instrumental in letting us know, leading those efforts, getting us pictures and whatnot. And that's the cool thing about being involved in the Chamber of Commerce. If you see anything happening out there, I mean, Lisa's, she's been a big advocate of keeping the streets clean. Lisa doesn't have a problem with telling somebody if she sees them putting their cigarette out on the street or throwing their garbage out a window. Lisa doesn't have a problem with saying something.
Yeah, don't worry, Mike Cottle will pick it up later.
But we're always keeping an eye out, and that's what a good, when it comes to board of directors, that's just what you do. You care about the city that you represent. You truly do, and our board has done that in so many ways. So thanks, Sheila and Denise. Cheers, ladies. Cheers,
Cheers,
Denise.
cheers. Let's cheers again.
Cheers again.
Cheers.
Why not? Oh, there you go.
So Valerie, this was huge for you. We had no clam festival, but we did have the Jazz Jubilee.
We did have the Jazz Jubilee. So the Pismo Jazz Jubilee, I believe it was their 44th annual. And so Noble Productions works with them in a capacity of providing the live streaming. And that's a whole other story in itself, because when we were approached by Rhonda Cardinal of Basin Street Regulars, and Simon, my brother with Noble Productions, had been assisting their efforts on Sundays for live streaming shows. And then she approached us and said, well, we would like to do our 44th annual Jazz Jubilee live streamed, and it's going to be 2 8-hour days of live streaming, pre-produced and live. And we were both like, what? Like, are you kidding me? And so Simon had already become, professional and as far as educating himself on live streaming, just because of what's been happening with COVID. And so that was kind of already in play. Then he bought a pretty elaborate mixer to be able to plug all the instruments in and make sure that was all dialed in right, because audio is just as important as the picture. And we did a bunch of testing. The main component of everything, if any of you have been doing any live streaming at all out there, is obviously the Wi-Fi. And Lisa knows, because we've done live streams at her house. I've done live streams at my house. And we're, just like we're doing right here, or having to push it through Zoom and then push it out to Facebook. And you have to have strong Wi-Fi for all this stuff and really good upload speed. So we purchased our own hotspot, and my brother, it was pretty funny because now he has a mobile setup with a backpack and everything, because the chamber has pushed him, in addition to people like, the Jazz Jubilee, to go outside of the box and learn how to do all these things and have a mobile system you can go and set up at any time and have a strong stream. So we did pull off the 44th annual Jazz Jubilee. But it was a lot of testing, and it was 2 8-hour days. And we did, I think, a 4-hour day the Friday night before preview, and it was all seamless.
It was wonderful. Yay.
And those things wouldn't happen without us being in a COVID world.
Cheers.
I tell you, cheers. Cheers, Simon.
Cheers, Simon. Simon is excellent. As Valerie said, with Wi-Fi, we've done 2 go live streamings here at my house with live music. And so we had 2 different bands, one in July, and then one, I think maybe, in September.
Yeah. We did 2 holidays, I think.
So
shows.
It's difficult if you don't have a good Wi-Fi and know what somebody is doing. Thank goodness for Simon. I mean, he's excellent at what he does. Valerie, you've taught him well. Or has he taught you?
He's teaching me now.
But cheers to Simon.
Cheers, Simon. Cheers to Jazz Jubilee. So their 45th annual, they're already planning, and they'll have multiple locations again in Pismo Beach, assuming that we're not going to be dealing with COVID in the capacity that we are, but we'll be working with them again because there will now be a live streaming component to them. So yeah,
Excellent.
something else good that came out of COVID, you
There
know.
are a few things. There is some silver lining
They're really
with our COVID. So, and we did our learning curve at Harry's for Halloween.
oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, we have to get creative and just we still have to have fun with what we're doing as much as we can. And these learning curves have, I think, done that for us.
Yeah, yeah, it's been fun. I just saw that with our
Oh,
Day of the Dead makeup.
what about Clam Fest? We did our learning curve for Clam Fest.
Right. And
This
I had
was
that on here. No clam festival,
no.
but we did our learning curve and wore our clams and
And
had videos of our clam girls.
we brought all of the chowder to
Yep.
the office to do a stream.
Yes,
and
we did.
keep in mind, I'm not a fan of chowder, but I tasted all of those and I did pick a couple. I'm not going to say who they are, but there were now I like chowder. And we
Yes.
did a pairing with local wine, and I spilled a glass of wine live on camera. Awesome.
Alcohol abuse.
That was a highlight though.
But it was fun. It was
So
fun.
yeah.
Okay, so in November, can you believe we're already in November? It wasn't something that the chamber did, but it was huge. It was those two kayakers out in Avila, and they were scooped up by a whale.
Oh, that's right.
I'm sure they will never ever forget
That
that one.
was crazy. That was so
Right?
crazy.
Yeah. And again, thanks to Simon, we had our virtual Veterans Day.
Yes.
So
That
we
was
were not able to do our live Veterans Day memorial, which is sad because we usually have over 100 people that come out and attend our Veterans Day out on the pier. So this year we did it live, but we had our fellow Warren come out and with his flags, and he played taps for us. And then Simon put this beautiful video all together that we aired on our Facebook. The city aired it on the public channel, which is our channel, is it 20? I'm not sure. Anyways, Simon, cheers again. That it was so beautiful the way
come out
he
here
did
and
it.
say hi to everybody, Simon.
Yeah, he is watching.
I know you can hear me. So yeah, so the interesting thing, it actually wasn't live. So yes, I'm filling up again.
Well, it was live on Tuesday, and then we streamed it on Wednesday.
So what we did is we did kind of a pre-record, but there's a feature on Facebook, I believe, that you can actually schedule so that something looks like it's going to showcase live. So the public thinks they're watching it live and they're really not. And that's another thing that we kind of worked with Pismo Jazz Jubilee. So he had to turn around. He went out and filmed that, had to turn it
Tuesday
around
morning
within 2 hours so that we can actually have it out on time and have it to the city and everything else. So, so again, you know, it's not easy to do, but I think that, you know, having Simon in our back pocket the way we do through Noble Productions has been huge for us. It's been a big advantage. So
it's big. It's really big. So thank you, Valerie and Simon, for all your hard work that you do for the Chamber of Commerce.
Happy to do it. Happy to do it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Simon said cheers. He needs to come out here, get on camera. He's being shy. My brother is so shy. It's so funny.
He is shy, but that's okay. That's why we like him.
He's super shy.
One of the things that's endearing. So unfortunately, in November, our COVID numbers did spike, and we had to go back on lockdown. Yeah, but one of the good things is Sunsets on the Pier did open.
One of the good things.
That was one of the good things for November.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, you know, it's unfortunate that the COVID numbers have spiked so much that.
Well, what's even more unfortunate, which everybody knows, is that they lumped us in with Southern California. So
yeah,
you know, that's
The
the,
sad
our
thing.
numbers here and our availability for beds is still good. It still is today. But to
Yes.
lump us in with Southern California and to put us in that, you know,
Yeah.
to set us back, the restaurants were doing great, the hotels were doing great. Our Pismo Beach had made up for all of the losses. And I
Yep.
know they're very fortunate to be able to do that because not every community has, but they had. And
Right.
so it was just another really big blow.
Yeah.
And then frustration sets in and, but for the most part, they figured some things out and a lot of our business community is still open in Pismo
Yep.
Beach.
Yep. So Val, it takes us to December, and we had our classic California
California
Christmas.
Christmas. Yay.
And yes, we did not let COVID ruin our Christmas cheer.
No, it was hard a little bit because we had to definitely um switch gears and we had to change what that looked like and how it was
Right.
delivered to the public and
Because we had a huge campaign.
yes,
And then,
we
yes,
so we were kind of set back a couple times, first with the surfboards we put up in the city hoping that we can get people to at least drive through and enjoy looking and voting on surfboards that were decorated by the business community and by our local nonprofits, were taken down by the city, and
yep,
then we had to go pick up those boards
collect our boards.
and then the Thursday before, what it was Thursday before, we had planned a Santa Express,
Santa
which was going to be
Express.
working with the fire department of the city to take Santa Claus on their old fire truck. And we were told by the city that we couldn't do that. It wouldn't be a good look because it's a stay-at-home order. And then so that was another blow, and so it's kind of like it was just like these constant like getting hit in the gut of like we're just trying to spread some holiday cheer around here, and we decided as a board that we're going to move forward. So with
So Santa still rode.
the Santa Express, if you guys saw it, that was, I'll tell you, that was definitely, and not only Lisa, I know myself, I know I talked to Shelly, but it just, to be able to go out there, have Santa, we probably had 7 cars, maybe, all through the board,
We had a
all week
float. Thank
long,
you, Jeanette.
decorated. The float was freaking awesome that Jeanette did. And we just drove through. Lisa led the way. Um, if you want to tell them the areas that we drove through.
Well, yep, we met over in Shell Beach, and then we drove down some of the little streets in Shell Beach. We had to really watch because we did have a truck with a very long trailer that was our float, so we had to watch where we were going. But so we drove through Shell Beach Road, then we came into Pismo up onto Price Street, and then we turned and went down Pomeroy, and then we went into the Pier Plaza. And I'll tell you, when we went into the Pier Plaza, seeing all the kids that were at the playground come running up, and waving at Santa, who was in a beautiful red Jaguar.
Yep.
It
Thank
was
you,
so fun.
Shelly.
All the
Every
people, yeah, thank you so much, Shelly. And then all the people coming out on their balconies in at the pier to see what was going on and waving. It was so heartfelt. People were just coming out of, even if they were just at their front door waving or out their kitchen
Yep.
windows.
But the kids were coming out to the driveways. I mean, the parents
Yeah,
were holding kids in their arms in the doorways, and
yeah.
everybody saying Merry Christmas. I mean,
And thank yous.
it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then
So then we went up to we did downtown Pismo area. Then we went up into the Heights and did up into the Heights. And then we did over there by Unagi's, went up into that housing tract all the way up to Oak Park.
Yep.
And that's where we finished. It was something else.
It
I
was
think everybody had a
amazing.
great time.
And then, so some of our board that lives in those communities, actually through the neighbor app received, they were seeing like chains of messages coming through saying, whoever did this, thank you so much. Like they were just so thankful to have seen that. And so that's where we know that we might be breaking a few rules here and there, I tell Lisa, but if it's all in good and you're delivering something good to people, then it's okay. You know,
Yep.
it'll end up being okay.
Yeah.
So that was, I kid you not, like it couldn't have ended this year better than anything else. That's all I think we needed, our board needed to know that we're doing the right things around here and we're going to keep on doing it.
Yep. Excellent.
Right?
And then we finished off with our surfboard contest.
Yes. Oh, the results.
The results. Well, before we get to the results, because I
Okay.
think we'll kind of do the results and we'll end the show. I want to, oh my gosh, I cannot read this. I wanted to thank some of our brand new businesses that came on during 2020. And some
Yes.
of these even came on during COVID. And I can't read this piece of paper, but I know that we have, oh my goodness gracious. Valerie, did you get that piece of paper also? So some of them are Cape Cod Eatery, Masterpiece Hair Studio, Beach and Biscuits, Ernest Law Group, Shell Beach Inn, Regenerous 360. We had Honeycomb Decorating. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad that I cannot read this.
Oh, wow. This is tiny. Hold on.
Thank you.
This is
It's
like,
like this big.
this is like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Not good.
Hold on one second. Let me do something here.
Hold on. I'm
Okay, let's try this. Okay.
Jeanette, could you have like sent this to us any smaller?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to go over this again. So we had Motel 6 in Pismo Beach, Ernest Law Group, Masterpiece Hair Studios, Be Connected Business Solutions. Oh my gosh. Deborah Lossing. Oh gosh, darn it. She said it's not small on her end. It is minuscule on our end.
Yeah.
House of the Rising Buns, Love to Camp, Slow Veg, Royal Grande Home and Garden Center, Lifeline Pathway. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry.
Okay, so I think I got it.
Basic Church of Susan Pollock Insurance. Thank you, Denise.
So I think I got it.
Thanks.
805 Healthy Vendor LLC. You said AG Home and Garden, True Value. Amp Surf, Be Connected Solutions, Beach and Biscuits, Cape Cod, Coastal Camping Rentals, Deborah Lossing, State of Care Broker, Dronesy, Eric Jones, Earl E, Conway, Professional Law Corporation, Ernest Law Group, G Brothers Kettle Corn, Honeycomb Home Design, yay, House of the Rising Buns, Cadco Construction, Mr. Becker, Legacy Village LLC, Lifetime Pregnancy Center, Love to Camp, Masterpiece Hair Studio, Mike Cotta, thank you.
Mike Cotta, thank you. One of our resident members.
Motel 6 Pismo Beach, Nature's Repair, Pure Gifts, Pismo Beach Barber Shop.
Yes, yay, Jared, thank you.
Santa Maria Raceway, Stadium 805, Slow Veg, Spectra Security, and Susan Polk Insurance.
And Pure Gifts.
And let's see. Yeah, that should be everybody.
So everybody, this was a very hard year. So thank you so much for joining the Pismo Beach Chamber of Commerce as a member. And I hope that you have enjoyed all of the hard work that Denise has done by reposting for all of our businesses every day.
Yes.
We try to get all of the businesses on there and repost whatever they're posting on their Facebook. So we are here to help you as much as we can. So we do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So do you want to
All right.
do our
So
surfboard? Drum roll?
well, do you have them all there? I have the list that Jeanette sent for the People's Choice. So we'll go over those.
You don't have the other?
And the other, do you have the other? You don't have the other either.
Remember how we said we don't rehearse this? We have these great ideas on how we're going to end it. And yeah, neither one of us have the paperwork on that.
We can do this.
So the judge's choice.
Yes.
Vespera won for best beach theme.
And that was super cute with the mermaid.
It was very cute. Splash Cafe won for Christmas.
Yes. They had a whole little Who village, but it was a clam village.
Clam.
So cute.
So adorable. And 17 Strong won for the nonprofits.
Yep.
These are the judges winners.
Judges winners, yes.
And we had 2 winners for the COVID surfboard, and that was Penny's Cafe and Harry's Beach Bar and nightclub.
Harry's Nightclub and Beach Bar. Yep.
Yes.
So that was the judges. So
then we had our People's Choice.
So the People's Choice, I'm looking at that. So the People's Choice, and we allowed voting up until around 5 o'clock on, what was that last?
The 23rd.
The 23rd. So keep that in mind, because there were still votes that came through after the fact, but unfortunately we had already reported the numbers. So People's Choice was Beach and Biscuits. Yay.
Yay.
And then we had for the nonprofits, we had Woods Humane Society.
And I thought that there were 2.
Oh, is there 2 for the nonprofits?
No, I guess not. I don't know what I think the 2 I was thinking was
there was a bunch.
So, yay.
There was a bunch that did come in after, but the numbers had already been reported. So
so congratulations to all of our winners and to everybody that just helps promote the good feeling of Christmas by decorating their boards and putting them out for everybody to see. People really like watching all of that. And somebody from the Pismo Beach Chamber of Commerce said, and don't forget Elphus and our deal of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did do so deal popular. Of the day.
That was so popular. We got so many views on our Elphus deal of the day. Taking that elf and just taking him from business to business and coming up with a deal of the day was super. I think the one with the most views, which was well over 1,200, was Sheila's Sweet Treats. So depending on the deal of the day, people just really loved them. So
yeah,
I guarantee Elphus will be back.
Yes. Next year, Elphus will be back. So I was right. We did have 2.
We have 2
winners for the. There was a tie. The lighthouse, the Pismo Lighthouse. They.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Jeanette, for keeping us on track.
You, Jeanette. Thank you.
Yeah. So there were 2 winners for our nonprofit, for our People's Choice. So it was the Lighthouse and the Woods Humane Society.
And for the nonprofits, which Jeanette will be coordinating and getting information out to you, but you guys will receive a chamber membership. Awesome. And then the businesses will be awarding something special for you. So stay tuned on more to come on that.
Yes, for their award.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's it, Val.
All good?
It's all good.
Okay, well, that's quite the year.
I think it's been quite a year. I'm going to put on my sunglasses.
So wait a minute. We need to finish with, I know it's hard to, I guess, pick one, but what's your New Year's resolution?
Oh, well, my personal one?
Oh, wait a minute. So that's the thing. Like, I have personal goals and I have business because I got to keep them.
Well,
separate.
Business goals. My business goal is to spend more time at my store this year.
Well, I mean, that had to change because of COVID, you know.
Yeah, it changed. Well, here I went through 2019 and then into March, I'm thinking, okay, great. I'm almost done with my chemo and I will be able to be at the store more consistently. And then COVID hit. So, yeah, next year I look forward to just spending more time in the store and being more attentive for my patients. Personally, my personal goal is to exercise some more. So
Wow.
ride my bike with Mike and Judy Cotta.
Yay. You have a new bike to do
And
that.
just kind of be, walking and doing what I used to do, put that more in the forefront. So,
Those are good goals.
yeah.
Yay. Well,
And you,
cheers to
Val?
that. Well,
Oh,
cheers.
wait.
To
Cheers.
everybody needs goals. Do you guys have New Year's resolutions? Come on. Tell us what are they? We want to
And
know.
what are yours, Val?
So I would have to say for business, business, there's kind of a lot going on there. I'm in marketing, as most of you know. A lot of my time does go to the Pismo Chamber of Commerce, but I really need to do a better job of marketing my own company and getting business for Noble Productions.
Got
So
it.
I need to do a whole campaign for Noble. So that'll hopefully we'll start putting that together in January. You hear that, Simon? So our live streaming abilities is on point, like we're where we need to be with that. So we need to start marketing that service and getting it out there. So that's kind of a big thing in addition to getting reviews. So I've asked some people, those of you that are out there, to give Noble Productions reviews, because I help other businesses get these things, but I don't do them enough for myself. And I think that's what a lot of us that have small businesses, we detach ourselves from our own business.
Yes.
So I need to put some of that focus energy into my own company to rebuild, because obviously I lost some business this past year and I did pick up some clientele, but I need to build us back to where we need to be. So that'll be a big goal for me over the next 3 months.
Well, I'm sure the Pismo Beach Chamber of Commerce will give you an excellent referral.
That would be fantastic. I just can't be the one to write it.
We'll all write it for you. We'll all pitch in.
So that's for business. Another one for business, and I think this goes for both the chamber and for Noble, is to get ahead of planning. And I think you've kind of seen my efforts already so far in that, where I want to, like in January, we're going to already have things out for March, like quarterly planning. And I can't only do that for the chamber, but I need to apply that to my own business, so that I have what I like to think a lot of great ideas, but it's always like, oh, like it's all like the final hour of, it's like, hey, Lisa, I have this idea. And it's like, okay, we only have a week to pull this off. So, and I know you're
Okay, let's
laughing.
go with it.
It's so true, because Lisa's like, okay, but everybody needs notice, not everybody can just kind of like act on a whim, which
Right.
I think a lot. So, and then for my personal resolution and or goals, is to just keep on, keeping on. I've become kind of a voice and a support system for my grandson these days. And
Yes, you have, Val.
I have a relationship with him that I've never had before, ever. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm going to continue those efforts. But since I've been able to work toward that this past year, now I need to work on mending my relationship with my daughter. And so I don't know what that looks like, but I'm just putting it out there that, I want to do that. And it's been a struggle. All of that are close to me and on my board. And, but I'm willing to put myself out there and do that. So yeah, I just need to complete my circle of family. I have a huge family support system, huge. Like Mercados are just amazing.
Or non-Mercados.
And yeah, Lisa's an extension of the Mercados, as is Tim, my boyfriend. So, but I mean, the Mercado family, like it's just full of love and like life and goodness. And so it can't ever be complete, I don't think, until I fix that. So those are my goals and my resolutions for the year. So,
Cheers to you, Val.
so everybody do the same, be happy, be merry. And
Wait, let me put my glasses on.
for sure, what we want to do is
Give a little blower, Val.
we want to put 2020 behind us. We know
do.
that 2021, especially the beginning, is we're still going to have some after effects of COVID. You know, we know that, but let's just make the best that we can. And again, I hope the board watches this, if not now, after the fact. I'm really looking forward to working with each and every one of you, and so happy and thankful to be where we're at. Thank you, Lisa, for getting us here. And I'm happy to be moving us forward. So
You'll be excellent, Val. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Love you, Val.
Love you too, girl. Enjoy your family time. Everybody.
Here,
Enjoy your
everybody.
families. Bye for now.
See you Sunday at beach cleanup, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and I won't be hungover because guess what? I stopped drinking as of Friday. All right.
We'll see you then.
Bye, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
Be safe.